The entire silver market is under a greater threat than ever before of a total collapse. We are already seeing disjointed areas of the market and breaks in the system, and most of it can be blamed on one nation. But we'll talk about who that is and what's going on in this video as we explore. I've seen rumblings about this for the past couple of days. Some of you have made me aware of it as well. But India is the ground zero for the most stress right now in the silver market. You've heard me talk about China, and China is a big player, and we've started to see some disconnects there too with the Shanghai Gold Exchange. But as far as people are concerned, retail buyers, well, India is sort of ground zero now for the Diwali festival. And this is quite chilling information that we're seeing based off of an article that was posted on Bloomberg that is behind a paywall. But I found the story here from the Sri Lanka Guardian that gives us some ideas of what's going on there in India. Before I get into that too much, there is still silver available. If you want to buy it here in the United States of America and other parts of the world, there are some places that are not selling, such as Perth Mint and Royal Mint has long queues. You've heard me talk about that before too. Summit Metals is open for business. If you want to buy or sell your precious metals, experience their great customer service by clicking on the link in the description below. So this is pretty amazing. The headline, India's silver fever rather, breaks the global market. We've seen for weeks Vipin Raina, head of the trading at MMTC, PAMP India, had been preparing for a silver buying wave. But when it hit, it overwhelmed even him, as millions of Indians rushed to honor the goddess Lakshmi during Diwali. The country's largest precious metals refinery ran out of silver for the first time in its history. That's big news, folks. And dealers across India found themselves empty-handed, their vaults stripped bare. This kind of crazy market where people are buying at these levels, I have not seen in my 27-year career, Raina said. That's a long time to be so intimately connected with the precious metal space in India. The shock quickly spread across the borders of India. What began as a cultural buying spree transformed into a global liquidity crisis as hedge funds and investors piled into silver amid fears of U.S. dollar weakness. That's right. And the thing is that the dollar is weakening in so much that it is losing value year over year. That's inflation, but it's also losing strength compared to other currencies to some extent. It's still the dominant currency, but we're seeing the weakness really kind of show itself there. According to Bloomberg, by the end of the week, the strain had reached London, the heart of the global silver trade. The city's vaults, which set international prices, were suddenly drained. Banks, where normally quoted silver prices every few minutes, stopped altogether, paralyzed by frantic calls from clients desperate to buy. Prices skyrocketed to an unprecedented $54 an ounce before plunging nearly 7%, signaling deep instability across the market. And that was Friday. That was a big deal for sure. In fact, I covered that topic, that big drop in price. Essentially what happened is there was more than a total year's mining supply of paper silver moved. Traders compared the turmoil to the 1980 Hunt Brothers attempt to corner the silver market. Bloomberg's reporting, based on interviews with more than 24 insiders, revealed how a perfect storm of factors, from solar industry demand and looming U.S. tariffs to India's cultural buying surge, converging to break the world's silver market. That's right. An unprecedented times we're living in nowadays, folks. It is a breaking in a lot of ways. Now, the entire silver market is not dead or stopped. There's trading going on. But I tell you what, if this stress continues long enough, it would not surprise me if we see a collapse. And when we see trading stop in general across the total global silver market, that's where it is a collapse, at least for a time. At the center of the storm was India, where social media influencers had hyped silver's 100-to-1 ratio to gold as a once-in-a-generation opportunity. As followers rushed to buy, local premiums soared from a few cents to more than $5 per ounce. China's week-long holiday also worsened the shortage, cutting off a major supply source. traders turned to London for relief, only to discover that most of the city's $36 billion in silver holdings was locked up in exchange-traded funds, which we know those funds, they have a whole lot more of those paper versions of it than the actual physical silver to back it up. Bloomberg data showed that since early 2025, ETFs had absorbed over 100 million ounces, leaving little available for physical buyers. JP Morgan Chase & Company, the world's largest precious metals trader, told clients it could no longer deliver silver to India in October. That's a big deal, folks. This triggered a cascade of panic among fund managers like Satish Dondapiti from Dotak Asset Management, who halted new subscriptions to silver ETFs. I think I covered that story. And other major funds, including UTI, State Bank of India, soon followed as India's bullion dealers exhausted their inventories. That's a massive breaking in the market there. As the Dhanteras festival approached, the chaos deepened. In Mumbai's Zavir Bazaar, dealers charged record premiums as wealthy buyers competed to secure any available metal. By the 9th of October, the London silver market was paralyzed. Bloomberg reported that borrowing costs for silver soared to annualized rates as high as 200%, while bid-ask spreads ballooned to levels never seen before. Some traders even profited from the confusion, buying from the bank and selling to another simultaneously for instant gain, a rare sign of dysfunction in such a massive market. Despite the turmoil, the London Bullion Market Association has so far declined to intervene. Unlike past crises, this one stems from genuine shortages, not market manipulation. That's an important distinction, folks. We know there is market manipulation. We've covered it on this channel with JP Morgan and the like. But this is actually coming back to apply such pressure that it is from actual shortages in parts of the market. Years of rising industrial use, particularly in solar panel manufacturing, have pushed global demand far beyond the mining output. And it's not that far beyond the mining output over the years, but it is enough that it has created at least a growing pressure and to where there's more demand than there is the supply to pace it. According to the Silver Institute, the world has run a cumulative supply deficit of nearly 700 million ounces since 2021. So that's 4 years, 700 million ounces. The annual mining supply is 900 and some odd ounces, 900 million some odd ounces. The situation worsened after traders rushed to move over 200 million ounces of silver to the U.S. earlier this year, anticipating tariffs under President Donald Trump's trade policies, with another 100 million ounces absorbed by ETFs. London's free-floating silver fell dangerously low to under 150 million ounces by early October. As prices spiked, traders scrambled to fly silver from New York to London, but even those transfers faced customer delays and logistics and with bottleneck logistics. For now, the panic seems to have eased slightly as inventories from COMEX began shipping out. The flights are now underway. So in that area, it has eased it to a degree. But right now, as I record this video, silver prices are up yet again, recovering the losses that they had from Friday. And so this is what we're seeing. The Bloomberg reports that over 20 million ounces have already been drained from U.S. warehouses, the sharpest drop in 25 years. The global silver market, once a symbol of stability and tradition, has been transformed into a pressure cooker of speculation, fear, and scarcity. In the middle of all of it stands India, both the spark that ignited the frenzy in the face of the world's silver obsession. Notwithstanding, the Diwali festival will end soon, and that will certainly ease some of the demand for silver for cultural reasons. So I think in some ways we should watch and see what happens there, watch what happens on the global stage, and with silver now rising up here to, as I record this video, to well over $52. It's about $52.40 right now. We could see some pullbacks from this as we see things come together. But I tell you what, this is something. It is, unless there's other demand that extends beyond the Diwali festival, and that is quite a possibility, that people see opportunity and they want to get actual physical silver because gold is so expensive. Gold has now reached another new record high yet again, and that is going to be another factor where people are going to be turning their focus more towards silver. So keep that in mind, folks. I tell you what, it is something. If we see this pressure in India continue beyond the Diwali festival, it could break the market big time, especially if they can't get the silver there to the LBMA quick enough. And that may not even be enough. We'll see what happens. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.